Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacaster from your host Imperial Dane, Master Propaganda Hero Psych Defender of the Fatherland. Off here to an exciting 1 vs 1 on Crossroads. Damn it. There's in the south, we got here Vonivan fighting for the OKW, Germany, Deutschland rolling out here with the Panzergrenadier Division Brandenburg. There's in the north, we got LimaOskarMike, Lom fighting here for the Third Union, Socialism, Comrade Stalin. And the first tank corps, we got here Luftwaffe, fortifications, watch with triple infantry versus armour assault, immediately chosen with triple infantry for Lom as well. A double conscript build line to seize out there aggressively with double focus here from Ivan. Sturm Pioneer going out less aggressive, which of course where it fits in better. Had you say, headed out more aggressive with the Sturm Pioneers, I would have probably recommended personally a Kugelbag, then quickly to cab up behind, but since he's using the Sturm Pioneers tactic cap rather than the disrupt attack, just going for more Volksgrenadiers makes a lot of sense here. You can see here, Lom is going straight aggressively for the Western fuel here, using the engineers to console to seize ahead. Interesting enough, the conscripts are more at the front, back line, but the engineers are more close to the front line. Theoretically, I mean, it could be easy worried, the Vonivan is going to rush from the Sturm Pioneers towards him, in which case he wants the conscript to be ready to actually be able to prepare positions, with the engineers this would be more expendable, more easily retreat, whereas the other way around, he could risk the conscripts being rushed up close, around the train here, and that would force him off. So, it makes a lot of sense to actually do it like this. Pushing up the east here with the other conscript squad, third conscript on the way there for Lom. Focusing up, you're going to grab here the cut-off point. He could dig in some sandbags himself here. Well, lay down some sandbags, throw down. And that's going to be the first engagement. Conscript versus Sturm Pioneers, Volksgrenadiers. Shots fired, conscript quickly falling back here. Third conscript around there for Lom. We'll have to see what doctrine Vonivan goes with here. He's still at the two Volksgrenadiers. Could go for another Sturm Pioneer squad. Bit rarer, but would give him a lot more firepower in closer quarters, and of course will reward him more for some good flanks, since the Sturm Pioneers do work pretty well with that. But there's also just the potential for Kugelwagen here. Either way, there seems there's a bit of floating going on there. Truck is also an option. There we go, third Volksgrenadier squad. Nothing too wacky there for Vonivan, or too aggressive. Second unit squad here for Lom, so it's going to be building either support company or special rifle command to try and put up something in. This is Vonivan. They got the conscript close being shot at though. Heavy assault rifle fire, they're making very short work of the conscripts. And of course the rifle fire doesn't particularly help in this situation either. Help! These assault rifle fires pretty bad, but the bolt actions don't help the situation. And there you go, support company up there for Lom. That's going to be Maxims, possibly mortars and field guns as well. We got a fourth full squad on there for Vonivan, plus a truck filling up on after that. So he's just going to go for a very heavy Volksgrenadier build. Rather standard Oberkommando West play. Though perhaps a bit outdated and perhaps a bit too much based on pre-nerf Oberkommando West. There's certainly an increase in play, perhaps going less heavy on them. Again, some still get extra Sturm Pioneers, but others you have to try and set up either for Fallschirmjäger or Obersoldaten. We'll see. Either Volks keeping conscripts occupied inside the base. This is pretty good for Vonivan. In the west here, they've got a large engagement going on. Sturm Pioneers, conscripts, Volks also with tankling with each other. With engineers squadron from the north, we've got one flamethrower up here by the way for Lom, allowing to burn out the fascists. No, the flamethrowers do not get any bonus versus units in light cover. It's still an AoE weapon, and since they're bunched up in light cover, the flamethrower will still be effective, but had this been heavy cover, this would have been a much more pleasant situation for Vonivan's Volksgrenadiers. You got engineers versus Volksgrenadiers. So again, they will still be effective versus units in light cover, because again, as I mentioned, they will automatically sort of tend to bunch up, and as the flamethrower is an AoE weapon, that still works out pretty well. But there's no damage bonus. That is only versus units in garrison cover and heavy cover. Volkswagen engineers there. We got a Maxim load there for Lom. They go to Maxim, a pre-World War I era weapon, basically Tsarist. The reason it's on wheels is because back then the Tsarist army was largely foot-based, and they couldn't afford to sort of those lug it around, so it was put on wheels to fit the largely foot-borne Russian Imperial Army. Fun fact. Maxim dealing with the Volksgrenadiers, pushing them back. Pushing in the flamethrowers, again doing a bit of extra damage. Sturm Pioneers pulling up. Need to be careful they don't get too close, since they could get caught up in the flamethrowers as well. But in this case though, he sticks too close, and small chance of wipe here with the Sturm Pioneers, but pretty good for Vonivan obviously. He's gone for Luftwaffe ground forces pretty fast as well. He can actually begin laying down theoretically flag emplacements that they do tend to see less usage, even after they got buffed, but they're more useful now, so we could theoretically aim for one. You could also ignore it. But we got the battle group headquarters up there, flak half check on the way there for Vonivan, and the Panzergrenadier Division Brandenburg. In the south, we've got Crossroads Sturmpionier. And we got double flamethrowers here for Lom. He's not too worried about mine from Vonivan, and he just would rather like to put more pressure on Vonivan, of course, just, you know, deny him use of cover. So, I mean, double flamethrowers in this regard is pretty effective. Right here, of course, we'll see the damage bonus, plus, of course, again, bunching up, making it, you know, further effective. He's trying to rush into the cover, and, oh, bit too late there, bit too late. Falls to the retreat, they're not going to stick around for any much longer. So, slight miss out there for Lom, grabbing the Centrifuge 2 point here, grabbing the point here. And we got medics on the way for Lom and the first tank corps. Flak half track halfway down there for Vonivan. Securing the point here could wire some bits off, I guess. But then again, it serves him just as well in defending from attacks for here, so I don't know. He might decide not to. But we got assault rifles here for Vonivan, the Sturmgewehr 44. And there you go, flak half track on the way there. 251-17. Bit of skirmishing here, flaming users Volksgunners, pulling up the Sturmpan, he's pushing them off. Very good. But we got a full squad here flanking up behind. There we go, got the assault rifles increasing their firepower. And themselves to lay down a bit more deadly fire here versus Lom's troops. We've got them used pushing forwards, but they exposed themselves a bit more, but still landed a really good hit. Again, almost took it down to like half of them. There go another good burst, quickly taking a bit of damage in there. And again, that's just basically down to AoE weapons. Generally, all flamethrowers can theoretically do that. It's just, again, German scores being smaller tends to sort of clump a bit more together, and overall get you just more health is centralized on fewer units. So again, flamethrowers just, you know, appear a lot more effective here. But even with, you know, say larger country scores, flamethrowers can be very effective. Folks, the retreating, so if we missed an opportunity to possibly wipe the flamethrower engineers, that'd been pretty helpful there for Vonivan. Got the country pushed back with a flak half track. The Volksgrenadiers here, no assault rifles there, no Sturmgewehr. And we got assist 3 there for Lom to try and counter the 251-17. This is one version of many flak half tracks the Germans designed. This one was sort of more of a field modified version though, created for the Hammergöring Fallschirm Panzer Division, I believe. Most versions did not have these sort of sights that they could sort of just pop down. Otherwise, most flaks, if they were mounted in any sort of vehicle, would have been mounted on trucks, usually sort of soft skin trucks. The Germans had a lot of those, and they sort of use it plenty of places. In fact, they quite like them. And I believe some actually used to support Stugs and Hetzers in their smaller tank patrol battalions in the infantry divisions. Fun note there as well. Got full engineers here, finding out with counter-control, joining in the fun as well. Use the flak half take his bait to close up the full and the popping incendiary grenade, but he doesn't have the munitions. Rather ruining the entire thing. Got the flak half taking up, but they've got the field gun opening up. There you go, good penetrating hit there for the flak half track, pop smoke. Falling back there in the west, we got constant pushing ahead here. Folks are skirmishing up, we got point there being secured as well, or harassed at the very least. Vonivan now has the option of calling in a Fallschirmjäger squad, some elite infantry from above, could put some pressure there on his opponent. The conscript will certainly, I think, struggle with the Fallschirmjägers, and there you go, Vonivan makes the call. He summons the Fallschirmjäger. Ut scheint die Sonne. And there you go, mines. Almost up by the flak half check, but the conscript gets suppressed. The Fallschirmjägers are lancing, in fact, pretty right there. With the FT-42s right in hand. Folks, there's conscripts holding off the fuel point here. We can see Lom slowly pulling in troops to force the Germans away from it. But so far, the fascists will not be removed. We could consider taking up, he's got plenty of fuel to do so. T-70 right now could be, I think, a real problem for Vonivan since he's got no anti-tank weapons. I mean, he doesn't even have access to Panzergrenadiers right now. So, I mean, T-70 rush right now for Lom would be really strong, but I imagine he either is not thinking about it or he's worried about the kid. Oh, never mind, we got the take up there finally happening. Tank with tank command going up there for Lom. Engineers hard at work. Wait, if we're holding sandbags, where's all the wooden stuff coming from? Don't ask questions, Dimitri, or the Canadians will take you. One hand gunner there, flung at the house, burning out the Maxim. Several men burned to death before they have a chance to escape. And the rest of the forces fighting against engineers, assault rifle fire there, rifle fire, keeping the engineers tucked in behind the cover. And we got the flak after they're rolling about, nicely fixed up, even possibly a slightly fresher coat of paint. Back here, nothing further going on for Vonivan. He could consider taking out himself, possibly. As for Lom, there's so far nothing out of the tank battalion command. Got the SIS-3 bombarding, the flak half-track hammering away with its 2 centimeters here. We got the forces advancing conscripts. And there we go, trotting away for Vonivan and the Panzergrenadier Division Brandenburg. Flag half-track running a bit behind. We got 2 forces squads equipped with assault rifles. The remaining 2 so far remain unupgraded. Ooh, Bachi out from the flamethrowers. Bold move, but obviously not very good move. And obviously probably not very intentional from Vonivan. Conscripts suppress the heavy taking hair fire from the 2 centimeter flak. Forces are trying to push up, but there's a maximum of the white pre-max training for supporting their comrades being beleaguered here. And we got the Fallschirmjägers just waiting here in the east, waiting for someone to be sent in to harass and just take a bit of territory back. And then Vonivan strikes really hard with the Fallschirmjägers, probably trying to get a wipe. It's a somewhat slightly expensive tactic when you're using a 380 manpower to do so, but well done. I mean, you can't keep your opponent occupied. So it could have possibly had them to hold fire and then sort of try to bait in the conscripts closer first. But we got Van Assault here, which I think was mistimed here by Vonivan. It's either I'm missing out on something. There we go, we got the infantry rushing out. I mean, it does last quite a bit there, you know, over 30 seconds. So, I mean, you do get a lot of movement, you do get a lot of firepower. So, you can usually just quickly rush out from his base like this. So, there we go, just rushing forwards. More troops moving out there again, just powered by most likely Palpatine. Fallschirmjägers falling back. Got the flamethrower engineer conscript moving in, they're hiding up behind cover again. Got a big push here. Lomo is finding himself being pushed back here. The Valiant Assault is indeed very much an assault. Possibly not so much Valiant as just drug fueled. Fallschirmjägers dealing with engineers, catch them. Apparently he did not anticipate they fall back here. He wasn't paying attention. We can see the Fallschirmjägers almost wiping out the entire engineer squad. That would have been pretty great there for Vonivan to get rid of them. He maybe seen a flamethrower. T-70 out there, fighting from Lom though. Fighting away with its 45mm cannon at some hapless Germans. Scheiße, where's our anti-tank support? Yeah, it got lost here on the road between, well, Adolf Hitler Straße and Adolf Hitler Straße. I don't know what idiot calls every road Adolf Hitler Straße, but it's causing a lot of our reinforcements to get lost. There we go, we're getting from the way there for Vonivan. This guy has fair panzered quarters up sometimes from calling armour. Love to see how Lom reacts to this. Once it hits, I mean, he's certainly been falling behind. Vonivan's got control of most of the map here, and Lom is right now just cornered. So rather a sticky situation if Lom protects, Vonivan can soon begin pulling ahead for panzers. He'll have to go for at least another field gun or something here, I think, to prepare for the armour or more support weapons. Maybe in another conscript squad. But something needs to happen. We got the Schwerpanzer quarters here. We got another Valiant Assault from Vonivan already. This one seems a bit... Oh, again, I mean... It's roughly 40 seconds, 45. I mean, it lasts a long time. You can rush out with it, skip your sprint. I mean, obviously, even then, you can do a lot with it. So I suppose it's less misjudged. You just, you know, from a certain perspective, at least part of me just goes, that's really misjudged. But, you know, the reality is, not really. Maximum on the way, they're just charging forwards. He's going to hit the T-10 down there to a chance. Oh, he's standing up in his own mine, but there's not much to sort of punish that. Kidnapper rolling in, T-7 moving down. He's pretty much anticipating when the T-7's come down there, so that's a good move there for Vonivan. And that's going to, I think, be a wipe, unless he gets really lucky. And he does. And looks like here that Lom smelled the bait and just sent the T-70 elsewhere rather than rescue like Kidnapper for that. I think that was a really good call there by Lom. Sturm Pioneer swinging the fuel mountains. We got troop restraints to the maximum fire here in the west. We can see push here for the fuel pond there. The T-70 should be able to take out the flak half track, the prying for now and now the source of suppression and of course pain. Lom there going for another engineer squad. Could be another flamethrower, could be mine sweepers, or Might be planning a take there while the flamethrower units fight at the front line. Got veteran 3 there. There we go. Panzer 4 for Vonivan. Ausführung J. There you go. Constant pulling it. Gonna pop an anti-tank grenade first. Nope. At least just look at it. That was then ultimately not so accurate there, but in fact he's gonna lose the conscript. Yeah, quite a loss. He might get the foot's gonna lose though, which will certainly make up for the loss. I mean, that's just the manpower, but also the assault rifles, they're gone. But doesn't pursue. That's unfortunate for Lom. Pretty fortunate though for Vonivan. That could have been a very easy wipe. Hell, he might even have the chance of getting the flag half-track, which would have been rather unpleasant for Vonivan. Not catastrophic since the Panzer IV's on the way, but it would have been quite unpleasant. There you go, got the Panzer IV out here. Lom, of course, is now aware, so he's going for the issue in the 6M. And we got air reconnaissance / smoke out here from Vonivan. In this case, it's mostly, I think, planned for the reconnaissance. He's trying to figure out what Lom is up to, suss out where the anti-tank weapons are, so we get that more easily just, sending the tank. But in this case, it also helps them screen the machine guns from support from the anti-tank guns. So that's pretty clever there by Vonivan. Actually serves multiple purposes. Fighters being suppressed, got the following shape into maximum. They get suppressed. Not quite, I think, a oblique enough angle. Same issue here. Notice got to push. In fact, we can see Vonivan is just pushing on all 3 sort of parts of the map here. That's actually pretty risky for him. That is pretty risky. And there's a good chance of losing some stuff if Vonivan is not careful, because then he's now trying to manage 3 separate attacks. I mean, if they pull through, that's really big push, and that could really leave Lom in some deep bush. But yeah, there we go. Damaged engine. Panzer IV lacking support. We got the SIS-3 and we got the F-6 moving in here. There's a high look of not losing the Panzer IV. Vonivan's otherwise wild ride has suddenly turned into a bit of a limp. And there you go. Panzer IV abandoned. Tries to make away with at least a nice opponent. And there you go. Knocked out. H-6 takes a hit on the Kevin with a Kevin quick risk being lost. Either way, that's a Panzer IV gone. That's a big tactical win there for Lom. Big tactical win. They might lose the M6 to Panzerfaust, and down that goes. Munitions cooked off. Going for another Steel Pioneer squad, having lost the previous one to the Marxists, and there go Kevin wiped. Now these are some pretty steep losses on both sides. Most of Vonivan's infantry has been depleted. I mean, they're mostly also intact as squads, but still have suffered heavily inside trying to push. There you go. Kednev are taken out by the Schwer Pundit quarters. T7 nearby, close to Veteran 2. That one's going to play a big role here for Lom now, just pushing back for Vonivan, since with increased veterancy, it is really nasty. And a bit of a difficult thing here for Vonivan to deal with. There you go. So 3 opening up the flak half tack here. Attack round here could possibly take it out. Close, but not quite. Shit, the fascists got away. How dare they move? Well, Yuri, they might have what we call a sense of self-preservation. You'll know the same thing you have when you come back home drunk in the night and try not to wake your wife. Troops are healing, reinforcing, grounding points there, grounding points there. Another H-6 here for Lom. Vonivan can theoretically go for another Panzer IV pretty soon, though he might be a bit more cautious with it, not having any intention of quick losing that one as fast. Trying to salvage the Panzer IV, that is disrupted, mine goes off. Oh dear, I could be in a lot of trouble here. There we go, getting flanked with the T-70, Veteran T2, and yeah, that could be a wipe. And destroyed. And now the crew and the guy running. No one runs from Pushkin. Yeah, you keep saying that, but what about that sheep 2 years ago? Shut up, we don't talk about the sheep. Going point station 6 number chart either for Lom. You also got air support here ready in case he needs to break up something Vonivan's up to. Strains to the maximum there, taking heavy damage. Second max we're going to turn about. He follows going for the deeper flank, but the second max might put a stop to that. Or the T-70 could. I mean, there's several options there for Lom in how he wants to break up Vonivan's moves. Vonivan's very close to be able to call in a Panzer IV. Lom now actually controls both viewpoints. That's pretty good for him, less good for Vonivan, but Vonivan's got such a fuel lead that it's less impactful. I mean, Lom there's got so little fuel, it's not going to have any immediate impact either. T-Sun's doing some damage there. 17 kills already, close to veteran defeat. Doing some very nasty work there for Vonivan. Fallschirmjägers there are only just veteran G2. And another Panzer IV for Vonivan. And the Brandenburger Panzergrenadier Division, probably on length from the Großdeutschland, since they're actually both in the same Panzer Corps. The Panzer Corps Großdeutschland, when that was actually put together, which I think was either late 1944 or was in 1945, I can't quite remember. Smoke bombs down here, quick covers up the tree at the flak half track, but also covers the infantry, very good there. Very judicious use of the smoke bombs. Troops standing about here, conscripts hanging about, close to veteran T3. Nothing further happening here for Lom though. Got the Panzer almost ready. Victory points being secured. Fallschirmjägers hiding here behind the sandbags. They'll never see this coming, yeah. They'll never see us hiding behind this very obvious piece of cover. You're a goddamn genius, Tita. Thank you, I was being sarcastic. Oh. I go contributing final five, not just from the Fallschirmjägers, but the Schwer Panzer quarters. And finally the Panzer IV. They're trying to move in there, but they're quickly halted. Panzer IV blitzes ahead, supported by the flak half track. Mission 6 million is going to need the CIS-3 over there to have a chance, I think, more seriously. Mission 6 million up, going to shoot, and there you go, hits a stack of hay instead. Second shot that penetrates. Grain points in far west. We've got a troop trying to flank in, but Lom there saw through his cunning scheme and thwarted it. Lom here could consider taking up, pulling for some T-34s. I think that would be quite helpful. There's also the very theoretical option of playing for an IS-2, but that I think would be quite risky. But it is what I call an option, just not necessarily the one I'd recommend. We've got a Sped 5 coming up here for Lom. There might be some snipers playing then, or penal troopers. I mean, the penal troopers would certainly be, more elite infantry in the sense, and a bit better at the later game to fight more veteran infantry. But again, it could be a sniper trying to bleed out for Vonivan, so we'll see what it ends up with. We've got the engineers still firing up the west side there, even as Vonivan is pressuring the east. Got the Fallschirmjägers hiding behind the bushes, though they are low on health and probably should be pulled back for reinforcement and healing. And Lom does indeed go for the sniper. There you go, almost wiping the Volkswagen squad here with the T-70. Maxim hanging up, and there you go, we're killing for shoots. Fails in, we got the CIS-3 bombarding. Not making much of an impact except on the local terrain. Less of an impact on the fascists. Got the concept going up against the Volksgrenadiers. No assault rifles are well interesting to note. No assault rifles. He's unupgraded 2 squads. The thing is though, there's no actual downgrade for the assault rifles. You just better off upgrading every squad with assault rifle. Like say going for the MP40s and equipping every squad. You might want to sort of mix it up with the assault rifles. I mean, they just boost range and well DPS at close, medium, and long range. So like, there's no reason not to, unless you're saving up munitions, I guess, which could be what Vonivan is doing, obviously, but. Oh well, second Panzer IV there for Vonivan. Lom remains in a rather sticky situation on the defensive. And it seems like he's very much playing for the IS-2 here. At least so far there's no indication of anything else. I mean, that could be one way possibly catching Vonivan off guard. But he keeps going for Panzer IV. The IS-2 could give them quite some trouble. Flak after they continue to give Lom here in the east what a headache. There you go, pension hit, second Panzer arriving, and those folks moving up, they can hold here by a heroic Maxim crew. Veteran 3. Yes, I have 3 stars. I stole them from a breakfast cereal, but I'm a 3-star machine gunner. You got breakfast cereals? Yes. I stole them from the fascists. But there you go, Panzer IV down. That's quite unfortunate for now. He's lost 2 Panzer IVs now, and the second one loss was, I don't think, much better than the first loss. To be honest, he might even lose the flag half trade, in which case Lom has just managed a massive reversal against Vonivan, which would be quite critical. And losing a Panzer IV and the Veteran 2 flag half trade is what you call pretty bad. Yeah, he's going to lose it. He should have pulled back the Panzer IV, because sooner the flag half trade has been not in a good spot either. But also got some aggressive play there from Lom, certainly punishing Vonivan for these mistakes. Because it's one thing to make the mistakes, another thing to get away with it. And Lom here has no intention of letting Vonivan get away with any of his mistakes. But there you go. Massive assault here with tanks and infantry. There you go. Valiant assault going in, sweeping in here. Taking advantage of his previous mistake of, where Lom then pulled through the east, leaving his syntax quite exposed. We get air support called in here though, and we got both players calling in air support. Problem is though, Vonivan called in his way. He's expecting to attack, and where that's also where Lom called in. The problem, of course, he's where he's expected to be attacking. Lom isn't. So most of his air support is going off the mark here. And he might take the risk losing another Panzer IV. Oh, 9. And his troops can't really easily support because they're being suppressed by the IL-2 Sturmovix. Almost got the Panzer IV here. Escalation 6 moving in here for the kill on the Panzer IV. It is super low in health, but there you go. Gets the Panzer IV. Vonivan has lost all of his Panzers. This is horrific. Or terrific if you're the Soviets. Max and the Russians drain between all the assault rifle with the Infantry gun is right. That was a big mistake there by Lom. Does give Vonivan their bit of supportive firepower. Could even try and steal the SIS-3. More strafing guns from above, more death. Troops trying to grab the field gun there are getting slaughtered by the IL-2 Sturmovix, also known as the Flying Brick House, and a lot of other things the Germans called them. Basically, they all rhyme on the theme of these aircraft really can soak up a lot of firepower. And there you go. Vonivan using smoke bombs to cover the retreat and the theft of the SIS-3. Excellent work there by Vonivan. Excellent work. Though it might not quite work out as well. He's going to need some troops to cover it up. Or he needs to help Lom stop following. But there you go. Troops rushing out. Even the Volkswagen squad just down to 1 man. But he gets away with the SIS-3 here, getting more into tank weapons. That's going to be helpful when Lom's here hits with the IS-2. There's one thing that is going in the favour for now, and that's the infantry. I mean, Lom is down to 2 country squads versus Vonivan's 4 Volksgunners, 5 Makers, and Steel Pioneers. In that regard, Lom has not been very good at replacing losses, versus Vonivan has been rather fastidious in doing so. That's also, I think, could be something that could be a tactical edge here for Vonivan, or strategic edge even, as the game goes on. But there you go. Lom here basically has the armor advantage. Now he further solidifies it with the IS-2. The Joseph Stalin 2 tank. Pushing out the west side here, the Volksgun is the Maxim. Grabbing the eastern fuel. Sturm Pioneer there. Oh, not Sturm Pioneers. Fighter makers not far from the T-7 light tank, Veteran 3. Now that one is a nightmare for infantry due to a very high rate of fire, but also very high accuracy. As to getting the Disco there, shoots and obliterates poor Jürgen. Another shot fire this time, though, leaving less of an impact than Vonivan's troops. And Vonivan here responding with a Jagd Panzer. Probably the most sensible response here, has a decent rate of fire, range and penetration. All married with a decent cost, which is really what Vonivan needs right now. Something that is sort of cost efficient versus all this, and the Jagd Panzer is probably his best choice. Now, of course, the question of get to use it, because I mean, Lom does have a lot of armor, which could theoretically swarm it and take it out. Of course, this is where the SIS-3 like Kernev can then be useful in supporting it, alongside, of course, all of his infantry. But the Panzergrenadier Division Brandenburg certainly finds him now in the defense, when all being very sweeping and aggressive. Lom has been able to turn the tables on him quite aggressively, and for now I think mishandled perhaps some of his tanks a bit, so that did not benefit him. More reconnaissance here. I mean, this is, I think, a clear reconnaissance. In this case, it has the slight benefit of covering up Max and there, but he's clearly trying to figure out where Lom is positioned, you need to better react to that. And there you go, Jagdpanzer out with its high velocity 75mm cannon, same velocity as out on the Panther. Basically, it is the same gun as one on the Panther, except they removed the muzzle brake because, well, it tended to kick up a lot of dirt due to how low the Jagdpanzer actually was, giving away the position, which is generally not what you want to do. Going for the T-Sim, landing a decent hit there with the high velocity gun. We got folks there pushing forwards. T-Sim remains in front of the cannon of the field. Oh, good lord, got annihilated in the blink of an eye. We got air support called in by Lom to break up Vonivan to push into the eastern side. IL-2 Sturm is tanking into the fascist anti-tank weapons. He could activate here the anti-aircraft mode, the Shroud Planted Quarters, but so far does not seem to be quite registering with Vonivan. Bombs being secured there. Jagdpanzer halfway to Veterancy 1 already. A lot of firepower there. Folks are close to being taken out. In this case, the Jagdpanzer in the nearby storage spot there, it slightly helps out. But the Soviet Air Force is unrelenting, punishing, striking down fascists left and right. Got the Falcons there, Veterancy 3. Push up the west here for Vonivan, by the way. Very good, taking advantage of Lom's push down the east. Possibly thinking the west side's not going to be wide open. Plus, I mean, there's already a lot of resistance. There's only so much France you can do with anyway, so... Oh, he's also finally chosen to activate anti-aircraft mode. It just happens a bit late, but better, I suppose, late than never. Sid 3 hanging about here. IS-2 being sent westwards. Breaking a few pieces of masonry. And this is 3 here for Lom. Strengthen the maximum there. And for now, he's encountering resistance across the entire frontier from Lom. But he's certainly, I think, trying to do his best here with the one advantage he currently has, which is basically the infantry. I mean, he's got so much more infantry here than Lom, and if he uses that correctly, there's, I think, a decent chance that the Vonivan could still win, because he can still pull off some bigger assaults, and he can have a chance of pulling off some really good flanks to quickly out support weapons. And if he can do that, there's some really good opportunities here for Vonivan. We got the sniper still about, with only 4 kills. Hasn't really seen a lot of uses here, though, from Lom versus Vonivan. Mostly just been hanging about there in the background. The OS2 sending out again. Falcon makes brilliant strength on the maximum strength on the IS-2. The results are unsurprisingly not pretty. Jagdpanzer there does a bit of damage as the IS-2, several shots penetrate. Forces here, bringing up the Sturm parts, we're pushing through the west. Barraging here the Maxim with the SIS-3. Very good. Got a control flank in. We've got Falcon Grenadiers supporting. Actually, no Falcon. Where are they? Are they retreating? They are retreating. There we go. The little infantry really reacted to what Vonivan is doing. Vonivan is able to push through looking for targets, and there you go, getting a wipe. In fact, he wiped another of Lom's counter-control with only 1 counter-control actually. That is pretty bad for Lom. He actually needs to replace them. He needs to go for penal troopers or take out and go for a lot of T-34-76s. What he can't afford is this sort of force composition right now for very long, because this sort of force composition with Vonivan could easily break through if he weights his power correctly. Fix up the IS-2 again. Yosef Stalin 2, back here troops in reinforcing. Artillery fire there against the Maxim crew. We got 3 kills there so far on it. And there go being caught here by the IS-2. Blasted and rushed away. My apologies there. My apologies, dear viewers. We've got the maximum there. Under heavy fire from the Fallschirmjäger. Slaying down. Highly accurate and highly lethal fire. Taking out the maximum in a matter of seconds. Forces advancing under artillery fire. Drumming away. And we got air support calling to try and break up the German push here. Seems largely successful. Troops getting blasted there by the Isle Sturmovix, and in the centre got the constant moving head here. His best shot is basically a barrage right now, and then he was going for something else later, so it just ends up being a big retreat. Schwer punted quarters there, providing anti-aircraft fire. Troops healing reinforcing. Fun fact, there actually existed a twin version of the Flak 37, but that one was pretty much used only within the borders of Germany. There are in fact several sort of flak guns that, due to their higher complexity, could only be used within the German borders. Well, they could be used aside, but the problem was they were really difficult to maintain. And so they just decided to stick them all within Germany. They included, for example, a slightly more unique version of the Flak 88, as an example. There you go. Anti-tank grenade off on the Jagdpanzer. Consequence wipes his 3, they're just hanging back. IS-2 bouncing off most shots there. And loses the Jagdpanzer there. Big loss of Vonivan. Could have maybe called down some smoke bombs there, but problem is with the Jagdpanzer, or the S-26, they're moving from the front here as well. The Jagdpanzer is dead either way. Rather a loss there for Vonivan. Is he playing for a Panther now? That would be pretty risky. Yeah, he's going for the Panther versus Lom. Well, there's also another advantage for Lom. Forgot he's actually got the victory point lead right now, and that's showing something there that Lom needs to do something about. Got a wipe then for Vonivan. The Sturmpanzers once more the bit the dust, but not the Volksgrenadiers or the Fallschirmjägers. Oh dear. Quite a hit there from the IS-2. Oh, Volksgrenadiers wiped out. Here we got air support called in here from Vonivan, trying to break up Lom's position in north of the victory point. The 9 to go ahead, grab it again, keep up the pressure there on Lom. Keep up the bleed. Lom has finally taken out by going in for the T-3045. He's going to push against something a bit bigger here versus Vonivan. Growing points there. And advancing machine gun aggressors as well. Very good, very good. Back here, healing enforcement. And T-35 half done there for Lom. And we got the Panther here for Vonivan. The Panzergrenadier 5. Ausführung A. A Model A, which was the second model of Panther. Started with a D, then A, then G. Fun fact. And then there's the theoretical Model F, which supposedly might have seen some usage at the very end of the stage of the war, but that's probably not the case. Smoke bombs here to help protect him as he grabs the northern victory point. For now, I think just part focusing on the victory points here. And he might just be hoping he can cause Lom to make mistakes because of the pressure the victory point lead is causing. Which is actually not a bad strategy at all. Not a bad strategy, as long as he doesn't do anything, you know, equally silly. But so far, Vonivan is remaining rather cool-headed and cold-blooded about this. He's not trying to just sacrifice units for short-term advantages against Lom. There you go, T-51 getting to T-Panther. Panther needs to fall back. Says 3 is also able to support, but needs to know about this. Well, we got the 6 of the T-54 going in. And there you go, T-54 taking some hits. The kid on the IS-2. Folks is being burned, shot at. Oh dear, that could be a wipe. They've not careful. Got the Panther going for the IS-2, penetrating here with its high velocity gun. The Kevin lands hit, but that bounces. That bounces in the far west. We've got Fallschirmjägers actually wiping a maximum. Good work. The 21 killed, 17 killed in the snipers. There's virtually 2. One hand gun off. Going out a maximum there. We can see that Vonivan is now really putting some pressure on Lom, using his infantry advantage just to tap from several points here. And Lom can't easily respond to all of these threats. See, also intends to spend the 3 remaining moving enemies assets to repair the IS-2. So this is, I think, Vonivan here really pushing his advantage while he can versus Lom before he gets down beneath a tidal wave of tanks, which he might not be able to respond to very easily, but by pushing his infantry advantage, he might just have what he needs. smoke bombs there, using that to advance, grab the victory point. We got the T-54 bombarding. As long as he stands to the spot that's less anticipated, he should be able to grab the point. 47 points to left for Lom, and if you grab that, it's going to be even lower. T-54 is only swimming in. The T-54 will try and push, but he can't contest. And nothing's happening in east. There's no troops rushing up for someone hit the point here. Again, lack of infantry is making it really hard here for Lom to execute any kind of strategy versus Vonivan. Because Vonivan's infantry can easily more interdict what future reinforcements are there on the field and just lock down plus contest points. Like, it's just really powerful having enough infantry. Which again is why I always recommend a minimum of 3 infantry squads. That is the sort of acceptable minimum. Give me one like 4 squads if possible. IS-2 running through their crushing machine gunners. Avoiding academy efforts for a brief moment, but not long enough. And Panzergrenadiers go off there. Panthers almost got the IS-2. Their sister, they got wiped. And I think that's by the IS-2 there, which is now Veteran 2. Panthers almost taking out H-6 moving in there. Panther trying to escape here. Rearmor hit. Panther fast off. IS-2 takes out the Panther. H-6 there though. He's down to 5 points. He's down to 5 points. He's getting the point here in the east, but not the one in the center or in the west. And with that, Vonivan wins. GG, game over. Even as his forces were being absolutely brutalized here by Lom's armoured advantage, the initial advantage Vonivan secured alongside his infantry edge ensured that Lom was basically stalled for long enough till he basically ran out of victory points. So, while there were some mistakes and some issues with Vonivan's armour handling, he definitely, I think, threw away way too many Panzer IVs there. He was able to successfully just stall and bleed out Lom there with his infantry. So there's a really good infantry plate there. Again, questionable armour plate. Lom's sort of major issue was he's never replaced his infantry losses. He never went for more conscripts or penal troops or anything. And that really sort of long-term setting behind Vonivan. So, you know, remember, 3 infantry squads at all times. So this is Imperial Dane saying, cheers, thank you for watching, hope you enjoyed this episode. Hit the subscribe, like, share, comment on it. If you'd like to send the replay of your own, links are in the video description. So feel free to send in there. They do provide some links to leaderboards, length of map, not length of map, but the length of the match, details about the map and so on there. This is Imperial Dane saying, cheers, thank you for watching, hope to see you all tomorrow for another hunting episode. Bye.